As you are already aware of, all the projects would be placed at some kind of hosting services like GitHub, GitLab, etc., which then need to be cloned into our own local system. We'll perform our own local tasks, and once we complete those tasks, we will push it back to the remote repositories, right? So this is what actually happens in a typical IT industries. We'll just need to clone it from the remote repositories and then perform our own tasks and finally push it back to the remote repository. So now I'll try to clone a project which is hosted in GitHub, will perform some tasks, and finally I'll push it back to the remote repository. So let me open GitHub. We do have a project called SureshTechs YouTube, which has some of the folders and files such as images, tests, and about.html and home.html, which is getting managed by Deepak. Now Ramu was asked to work on some changes in this project or some kind of features in this project. So now Ramu is going to clone this project into his local system, will perform some tasks, and finally will push it back to the same repository, which is nothing but SureshTechs YouTube, right? So this is the repository name. So now if I wanted to clone this project into my local system, you can see here there is something called code here, right? So there is a button called code. I'll have to press on this. So when I press on this, you can see here there is an option called clone with HTTPS. So there are basically two types of protocols here. So one is HTTPS and another one is SSH. You can either use HTTPS or you can either use SSH. Few companies uses HTTPS and few companies uses SSH. If you wanted to use SSH, you will need to generate one public key and then you will need to proceed from there onwards. But in this tutorial, I am going to use HTTPS because most of the companies uses HTTPS, so I am going to teach HTTPS here. So if I wanted to clone this project into my local system, the first thing I'll need to do is to copy this, right? So I have just copied it, and let me open Git Bash. Okay, so I have Git Bash already opened, and I'll go to Git projects folder. Okay, so now I'm in Git projects folder. Okay, so I'll just say ls before cloning. Okay, so these are our earlier projects, so I'm just going to clear it once, and I'll say git clone followed by the remote repository URL, right? So now I'm going to press enter. Now it is trying to clone the project from the remote repository. You can see here cloning into SureshTechs YouTube. Now let's wait for some time. It depends based on your network bandwidth. It does take some time to get it into your local system. So let's wait for some time. Meanwhile, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can do that. And meanwhile, let me talk about SureshTechs channel. So we are planning to make a lot of videos in this channel. We have a plan to work on Android with Java and Kotlin, and then we will try to work on Flutter and then React and React Native and some of the IoT related stuff. So we are going to work on a lot of different projects in this channel. So I request you to please do subscribe so that you will get notified about the new videos that we upload. Okay, meanwhile our project got cloned, and if I say ls now, right? So if I say ls, you can find a folder called SureshTechs YouTube. Now if you look at here, there is a folder called SureshTechs YouTube, right? So what happens is that whenever you clone a repository, right, so it is going to create a folder with the name of the repository. Look at here, right? So this is the name of the repository, which is nothing but the SureshTechs YouTube. That's why whenever you have cloned the project, it has created a folder with the name of the same repository. And if you would like to give some other name, you could do that. So basically whenever you say git clone, right, you can give a space and then you could mention the folder name which you would like to give. Okay, but anyway, so for now we have just cloned it and we have got the project into our local system, and I'll be going inside that project now. So for that I'll have to use cd, which is nothing but change directory, and then followed by SureshTechs YouTube, right? So I have done that. Now look at that change. So whenever I have been moved to the project, which is nothing but the SureshTechs YouTube, you can see in the right side there is something called master, right? So there is something called master. If you remember our earlier tutorial, when I've talked about dream house, the first thing that you will need is a piece of land. Similarly, whenever you start work on any kind of repository, which is nothing but the project, right, the first thing that you'll need is a branch, right, which is nothing but master branch. That's why whenever you have cloned a project, the first branch that you will get is a master branch, and from here onwards you will need to perform your own tasks. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to just clear it once and I'll be saying ls. Now look at here. So these are all the different files and folders which are part of the repository. Look at here, images, tests, about.html, and then the home.html. Look at here, about.html, home.html, images, and the test. So these are all the different files and folders which are part of this remote repository. Okay, so now I'll try to do some changes in home.html and we'll try to push it back to the remote repository. Okay, so now let me open up home.html. Okay, so I'm going to use vi editor for now. Okay, I'll just say vi home.html. Now if you look at here, we do have some text which is basically an html file. So I'll go to the insert mode. So now I'm in the insert mode. Look at here, I do have a h1 tag which says storage text, and then I do have a paragraph which says, hey, we will teach all the programming languages, or motive is to teach. Yes, our motive is to teach, and I'll be modifying it by adding this. Okay, so I have just added, please subscribe. Okay, so our change is done. So I'm going to press escape followed by shift colon wq. W is for write, Q is for quit. Okay, I'm going to press enter. Done. Now if I say git status, okay, what will happen? Look at here, this file is modified. This is fine. Now if I say git log, okay, I'll say git log one line all and graph. Okay, when I said git log one line all graph, you can look at here, there is one commit, right? So this is the initial commit which is part of the remote repository, which has come from the remote repository, and now this master is your local master which is pointing towards head, which is nothing but currently you are in your local master branch. And then we do have master branch in our remote repository, that's why it is called origin. And now I'll have to talk about what this origin is, right? So what happens is that whenever you clone a project into your local system, it is going to provide you a name for your remote repository, so that from the next time onwards, whenever you would like to communicate with the remote server, you can use this name. That means if you would like to push some changes to the remote repositories, the name that you will need to use is origin. Origin is nothing but the name of your remote server. Okay, so you can also check that using a command called git remote minus v. V is nothing but verbose here. Okay, if I say git remote minus v, you can see here this is the name of the remote server. Okay, so this is our remote repository URL, right? And you can see here you can use this name for the fetch and you can use this name for the push. Okay, so this is the shortcut name of this entire URL. Okay, now we do have a change, we'll need to commit and then we'll need to push it back to the remote repository. But before doing that, remember, whenever you would like to make a push, the first thing that you will need to do is to make a pull, because it's not the only you who is working on that project, right? There will be different people who will be continuously work on that project, who will be continuously doing different kind of pushes to the remote repository, and then you will need to get those changes into your local system. You will have to be up to date with the latest changes, and then you will need to push those changes into the remote repository. So this is what actually you will have to do. Okay, now consider Deepak has done some changes in the remote repository. Okay, so this is our remote repository, and now let's say Deepak has created one new file. Okay, so Deepak wants to do some changes, or Deepak wants to work on some kind of feature. For that he is going to create a new file. Okay, so let's say he has created something like what do we say, has created address. Okay, so he has created address.txt file. Okay, so he is going to add some text, I am the address file, something like that. Okay, so just to make sure that there were some changes in the remote repository before we do a push. Okay, so I'm going to commit this file. Okay, now in our remote repository we have a new file added which is nothing but address.html, right? So now, so before we do a push, we'll need to pull these changes into our local system. Okay, so now we have a file called address.txt. Now if I open git bash, could I see those changes into my system? Let me say ls. No, that changes will not come here. We'll need to run some commands to get those changes into our local system. There are two things to discuss here. One is fetch and one is pull. First, let me talk about git fetch. Git fetch is going to get the changes from the remote repository to your local repository. That's it. It is going to just get those changes into your local repository, but it will not apply or merge those changes into your local remote repository project. Okay, whereas git pull is going to get those changes and will automatically apply or merge those changes into your project. Okay, now let me run git fetch. Okay, so you'll need to say git fetch followed by the remote server name, which is nothing but origin, right? If you remember, it is origin. So I'm going to say git fetch origin. Now what it will do, it will try to fetch that address.txt file into my local system. It will just fetch. If you look at here, unpacking, total, and now what happened, I have got those changes into my local system. Okay, now if I open up git log one line and then all and graph, look at here, this is our initial commit that we have got whenever we have cloned the project, and then this is the latest commit which we have got whenever I have done git fetch, right, which is nothing but address.txt which we have created in our remote repository by Deepak. Okay, now we have got that into our local system, but we haven't merged that into our project. So just to prove that, if I say ls, look at here, that address.txt file is not part of our project. For that to happen, you will need to run a command called git merge. Okay, git fetch is just going to get the changes, but it will not merge those changes. So now you have those changes into origin master. Okay, you have those changes into origin master. Now you will need to merge those changes into your master. So for that, you will need to say git merge followed by origin and then master. Now the changes which are part of origin master will be placed into your local master. Now if I say enter, look at here, this is a fast forward merge. If you remember, in our git branching tutorial we talked about fast forward and recursive merge, right? So now this is a fast forward merge. Okay, now if I say ls, I could see address.txt file, right? So now we are successfully able to get the changes from our remote repository to our local system. Okay, so now this is git fetch, which is a two-step process. One, we'll need to get those changes and then we will need to merge. Now I am going to use git pull. Okay, for that I will try to do one more change in my remote repository. Okay, so for that let me try to create another file. Okay, so I'm going to create a new file, and for this let me just say texting.txt. That is fine, right? So any file is fine, and then let me just say I am testing file. Okay, done, and I'm going to commit it. Okay, now if you look at here, we have a file called testing.txt, right? So now I'll try to get these changes into my local system. For that, what I'll have to do, okay, let me first do ls. Okay, we don't have that change here, testing.txt. Now I will say git pull and then the origin, and here you will need to specify the branch name, right? From which branch I would like to get those changes. And here I would like to get the changes from master. So for that I'll say git pull origin master and I'll press enter. Now I'll get the changes from master into my local system, and which will be applied directly. Look at here, I've got the changes at the same time those changes were merged into my local system, right? My local project. Okay, look at here, fast forward testing.txt. Now if I say ls, I could see testing.txt in my local project. So this is the main difference between a fetch and a pull. Fetch is going to get the changes, whereas pull is going to get the changes and will automatically apply a merge. Now if I say git status, okay, now this is our initial modified home.html, if you remember, right? So I am going to just say add, because I am going to make a commit. Okay, so I have just added it. I am going to make one commit, git commit minus m, sorry, git commit minus m followed by double quotes, and then I'll say updated home page, done, right? So I have done a commit. So this is one commit which I have done. Okay, so I'll need to basically push now, but before that let me just say git log one line and then all and then graph. Now if you remember here, this is our initial commit, and then this is the commit which we have got whenever we have done git fetch, and then this is the commit which we got whenever we did git pull, and this is the latest commit which I have done, right? Updated home page. So these are the different commits which are there, and now I am trying to push these changes into the remote repository. And as I said earlier, at any time whenever you would like to push any changes to the remote repository, the first thing that you will need to do is to make a pull. Okay, so I am going to just say git pull origin master. Okay, now it has to say up to date because there are no changes in our remote repository. Okay, so now it will say already up to date. That means there are no changes in the remote repository and we are good to push our changes to the remote repository, right? So now I'll say git push origin master. I am going to push my changes into the master directly. Okay, now if I say enter, it is going to push our local changes. Okay, now it has asked me to provide username and password. Okay, and it depends, it may ask, it may not ask based on your configurations. Okay, so now I am going to enter Ramu's details here. So I'll say ramutony at 22 at gmail.com and then the password. Okay, so now I have provided credentials, login failed. Okay, so I have provided wrong credentials, I believe. Okay, I am going to run it again. So now it will have to ask me username and password, right? So I think earlier I have provided wrong details. I'll say ramutony22 at gmail.com and then the password is, okay, I believe this time it should be right. I don't know, I think I'll have to cancel this prompt. Okay, cancelled. Okay, here it is asking me for the username, so I am going to provide here okay, I think this is right. Enter, and then the password I believe I'll have to provide here. Okay, I'll provide here. I think unable to access. I don't know, the requested URL returned. I think I don't have permissions, or I what permission to Deepak denied. Okay, so now I think Deepak has to provide permissions to Ramu. So for that, so this is Deepak's page where he'll have to provide. So let me go to the settings. So Ramu has to provide me the access. Okay, so if I go to the manage access, invite a collaborator. Okay, now let me type Ramu name here. Ramu Tony22 at gmail.com. Okay, add. Okay, so now Ramu has the access to do a push. Okay, now he will try to push it. So for that he will have to say git push origin master. Okay, now it is asking again, so I'll say Ramu Tony22 at gmail.com and then the password. Okay, let's see what happens now. I've provided the credentials and Ramu has the access, but unable to access the requested URL returned. I don't know what to do. Ramu Tony22. Okay, awaiting Ramu's response. Okay, pending invite. Okay, Ramu has to approve this. Okay, Now if you look at here, whenever Deepak has invited Ramu, Ramu is going to get an email something like this. Okay, so now Deepak has invited Ramu and Ramu has to view that invitation. Okay, so now Ramu is going to, so now Ramu is, look at here, invitation to join, right? So Ramu has to accept this invitation. So now Ramu has accepted this invitation. Now that Ramu has permissions to push his changes into Deepak's repository, right? So now Ramu is going to do a push again. Okay, now remember, whenever you are asked to work on a project, right, you will be provided with the permissions also. Now if you look at here, Ramu is successfully able to push his changes to the remote repository. So now if I open the remote repository, okay, so this is my remote repository, right? So I should be inside here now. So now if you look at here, this is our remote repository, and we can see here we do have 4 commits. Okay, and now let me just refresh once. Fine, I have refreshed it now. The project has been refreshed. Now if you look at our home.html, right, so this is where we have done our changes, right? So now let me open up so that we'll get a confirmation whether our local changes were pushed to the remote repository or not. Okay, let's just for some time. Since I'm running on very low network, it is taking some time, but basically now if you look at here, under home.html, this is the change which we have done, right? Please subscribe, right? This is the change which I have done, and we have that changes in our remote repository. Now this is how we do get the changes from the remote repository into our local system. We'll perform our own local changes, we'll make either fetch or pull, and finally we will push our changes to the remote repository. Now one thing to remember here is that I have directly pushed my changes to the master branch, but that will not be the real case. You will be having separate branches like release, QA, etc. You will need to push your changes to different branches, and then you will need to make a merge request, and then those changes will be pushed to the master branch, but you will not directly push your changes to the master branch. That you will need to remember. Okay, so this is the entire concept of remote branching.